Hello?
Hi, is that Danny?
Yes, it is.
Hi Danny, it's Joe. I messaged you on Twitter about doing a short interview.
Yeah, hi Joe, you alright?
Yeah, really good, thank you, and really appreciate you setting aside some time for me.
Well, mate, not a problem.
Perfect. Well, yeah. So just a quick bit about me. I'm doing a masters in London at the minute, and one of my modules this term is multimedia journalism, and we have to write a professional style article about an event, about sports games, something like that. So I decided to do the Histon Leeds game because one, I was there. Two, it's it's a huge event in not just in Histon's history, but in the history of the FA Cup, really. And
first club to beat Leeds first non-league club to beat Leeds in a sort of proper competition. So it was, and I think Sutton went on to do it a few years later, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And what sort of sparked the idea for me was, Leeds recently just lost to Crawley in the cup as well. So it's almost like history repeating itself.
Pretty good record, obviously, Leeds.
No, not at all. Yeah, I think
opposition.
Yeah, well, as an Arsenal fan, I know they usually do us decent in the cup. I know they beat us one year, but against lower opposition, it seems to be pretty useless. The first question I've got down is the last training session before the game. What was sort of the mood around the camp?
I think it was one of excitement. As a non-league team, we were doing well in the league that year as well. So we were having a real good season, and we beat a couple of really good teams on the way before we faced Leeds. So it was one of excitement, knowing that the TV cameras were going to, a real massive game in the club's history for Histon. And I think everyone was just pretty much looking forward to it. Yeah, a little bit of nerves playing live on ITV. I think more so on being on ITV than actually being on Sky, because everyone's got ITV, not everybody's got Sky. So you know there's going to be a massive audience. But certainly excitement, really.
Fantastic. And sort of going on from that, the Saturday night before the game. Maybe when you're not, around all the lads, talking about the game, and you have sort of your time to reflect and just be alone with your own thoughts. What were your sort of personal feelings before that night before the game?
From memory, I always had a routine the night before a game, so it would always be the same food. It would be spag bol.
Lovely.
Just to get the pasta, trying to eat the right sort of food. I think I was due to head up north straight after the game. It was my sister's little boy's christening, I think, the next day, actually the day of the game, which it was. So I had to, and I was myself and my partner at the time, we were godparents, so I think she was already up there, and I was due to go straight after the game, so I was on my own really, and just chilled out really. But again, one of excitement for the game, but two, I had one eye on, right, I need to get up straight after the game, and then just organising bits and bobs for that and stuff. So it was fairly busy. It was fairly busy night for us.
Definitely. Well, yeah, fair play. The performance you put in with your mind, half on the game and half on your nephew's christening. Well, fair play to keeping your head in the game, as it were. So obviously the day of the game, we all remember how terrible the conditions were and the weather and everything. But obviously it was still an incredible turnout. Did the conditions sort of make you give you a bit of apprehension for the game, or did you think that it would give you an advantage over Leeds being a bigger team, a footballing team?
I think there's two parts to that answer really, because one, being a goalkeeper, playing in conditions like that, it sets you up for a mistake. Waterlogged pitch, windy, slippy ball, big game on TV. You're thinking, it's not fun playing in those conditions, being a goalkeeper. But then on the flip side of that, from sort of a team performance, I'm thinking Leeds ain't going to fancy this. This is right up our street. If you want to play a higher, if you're playing a higher opposition in the FA Cup, then those are the circumstances you want to play them in. Waterlogged pitch, not very good conditions, and we used to playing on not a great pitch and stuff, so they would have got a bit of a shock when they came down and saw the pitch and everything. So it's sort of twofold really. That we're sort of happy that the way the weather was from a team, but from a goalkeeper's point of view, it was really tricky conditions, and I just had to make sure I was really switched on and that I didn't make any mistakes. Yeah,
100%. And from the highlights I can find on YouTube, and there aren't many. If you had made a mistake, no one would have noticed anyway, because the cameras were covered with rain. You could barely see anything, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the weather was, you were there. The weather was really bad, but it sort of played in our favour.
Definitely. And moving on to Steve Fallon, who's obviously been at the club for I think around a decade by that point. Before taking the field, was his sort of message more of it's just another game, play it like you'd be playing, if you were playing a team like Wrexham or Cambridge, or did he really convey the gravity of the situation, playing Leeds in the FA Cup?
No, Fal was really good, to be fair. Fal was really good. He just told us to go out and enjoy ourselves. He's not at our level what we played. Not often you get to play on TV. And he said just go out and enjoy it. Obviously we were well drilled in the way we played. Let's say we were having a good season. So we all know our jobs and everything and what we needed to do. But it was a massive game for everybody really. So he just said go out, do your jobs, but go out and then enjoy it really, play with a smile on your face, and don't leave anything out there on the pitch.
Fantastic. Yeah, to be fair, that doesn't really surprise me. From what my dad and people of Histon have told me about Steve, he was very much a calm and calculated sort of character.
Yeah, no, he was really good, Fal. He said what he needed to say, and he didn't say a lot, but he let you get on with it to the certain point. We had a good group of players and a good bunch of lads. So he was good like that.
Definitely. And when the goal went in, I'm not sure what your view of it was, because I was standing behind you and I could barely see it from where I was. But when the goal went in and almost the entire village was going crazy behind you, what was that sort of feeling like, having that a crowd of 4,500 people just screaming?
No, it was fantastic. And Langer's was a good mate of mine. I'd known him before we joined Histon. I played with him at a couple of clubs previous. So again, can't remember exactly how much I saw of it, but just saw everybody sort of running away, wheeling away and jumping on him. So it was a great feeling.
Yeah, definitely. From what I can remember, I think I must have been only 11 at the time, and I was totally swamped.
It was the fans. The fans were brilliant. Even the Leeds fans, to be fair, it was from memory, it was a real good atmosphere in the ground.
Yeah, well, definitely. And what do you think, in terms of the bigger picture, what do you think that result did for the profile of the team and also the profile of the players as well? Obviously, a number of players from that team went on to bigger and better things, as it were. Do you think that game really put a lot of the players from that team on the map?
Yeah, definitely, because it was, like I say, live on TV, so everybody would have watched firsthand of getting a look at the players firsthand of exactly how they handled it against bigger and better opposition. Like you say, I think quite a few went on at the end. I think it was the end of that season actually when we missed out on getting to Wembley. I think that's when quite a few moved on. Like Mitchell King and Patrick Adder, I think, went to Crewe. I think Jack Midson left. There was quite a few that were definitely in the shop window, and that game would have helped them massively. Yeah,
definitely, and obviously losing all those all those stars was a major loss. But I suppose in the goalkeeping department we were very lucky at that sort of time because obviously we had you who was a fantastic goalkeeper, but the lad behind you, Joe Welsh, was also a very good shot stopper as well.
Yeah, and I think Joe had to play in the semi-final game, the first leg down at Torquay, because I got sent off the last game of the season, and I think we got beat 2-1, but Joe did well in that game. He was a very able goalkeeper, and was obviously kept me on my toes. But we had a good working relationship in training as well, and we bounced off each other. So but we had a good squad. We had a good total squad where if somebody came out of the team, someone could step in and do a job. There was competition for places.
Oh yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree with you more. And I heard as well that after the game, Gary McAllister popped his head in the changing rooms. What do you remember of that? Did he say anything particular?
From memory, which obviously is a good few years ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great gesture what he did. Showed the mark of the man really. Great footballer man. He's up at Rangers now with Steve Gerrard. I think he's pretty much as well done, lads. Good result for you and good luck in the next round. I think it was as simple as that. But real class act, to be fair, from him. Believe he got sacked not long after that game, and then the days after that game as well. It was a real class touch from him.
Well, that's great to hear, and yeah, unfortunately that's how football works. You can't really explain how a team like Leeds can go ahead and lose a game like that. So of course the manager's going to get the sack afterwards.
It was a strange season actually for manager sackings because we beat Oxford earlier on in that season. They sacked the manager after we beat them. The round previous we beat Swindon and they sacked the manager after the game, and then obviously Gary McAllister. So I think that was 3 managers that got the sack directly after us beating them. Now whether that was the overriding factor, or I'm sure seasons weren't going to plan anyway, but it was 3 that I know of immediately after playing us that got the sack. So
yeah, maybe not as much as you are giant killers, you also seem to be manager killers as well.
Yeah, which was crazy really.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much, Danny. That's all I've got. That's all I've got for you.
not a problem, mate. Hope that helps you out. Hope everything goes well. What are you actually doing? Is that what you want to go into, journalism, or?
So the course I'm doing is football communication and digital marketing. So it covers a whole load of different sort of aspects. So last term focused on like fan engagement and digital marketing. And this term now is journalism and public relations. So there's so many different sort of areas I can look to go into.
Yeah.
But content creation is definitely something I enjoy.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Well, I'm at, I don't know if you know the company, but I'm at World in Motion.
Yeah, I did see from your Twitter, and you represent the lad who just signed for Swansea.
Yeah, Morgan Whittaker, moved him from Derby to Swansea. Got Ryan Bennett down there as well, a centre half at Swansea, who's at Wolves. We've got about 250 players in the company, so.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Quite a big organisation. We also do boxing, cricket, rugby, and golf. So.
Oh wow.
We're quite a big organisation. So if I ever help you with in the future, obviously just you've got my number now, drop me a message. It's obviously difficult sometimes with some of the bigger players, but if I can help you anything in the future, give us a shout.
Yeah, I'll definitely save your number, and I'll 100% keep you updated with everything, and I'll make sure I send you the article, and
yeah, that'd be good.
And I'm hoping to film sort of a little piece to camera for it as well, because making sort of sport videos and editing them, there's something I really enjoy. So making a sort of mini documentary type thing is something that I'll definitely look to do for this.
Yeah, did I see you were going to speak to Josh Simpson as well?
Yeah, so I've hopefully have a call with Josh this weekend, and this week I've been chatting with Matt Langston as well, so he sends his regards.
Brilliant. Yeah, good lad, Langers. Great lad. His boy's doing well. His boy's at Watford. Plays at Watford.
Oh yeah, of course, completely. Yeah, because I remember when googling all the players and trying to find contact details, I did come across an article saying that his boy had been picked up by Watford.
Yeah, George. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if he follows in his dad's footsteps.
Yeah, definitely, but hopefully he doesn't come up against Arsenal in the near future, because I can't have a Langston doing anything against Arsenal. Like that won't rub me the wrong way.
Yeah, no, brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Well, great to speak to you, and hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I really appreciate your time again. Thank you for setting aside a few minutes.
Hello.
Hi, is that Josh?
Yeah, is that Joe?
Yeah, how you doing?
How's it going? You okay, mate?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Really appreciate you setting aside a bit of time for me.
No, that's alright, no problem at all. No, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you soon. I don't always go on my Twitter. I have a little scan of it now and again, so I missed your first couple of messages, but no, that's fine. You're doing it for your degree, are you?
Yeah, so basically I'm doing a master's in London in football communication and digital marketing.
Yeah.
So the modules so far have been fan engagement, digital marketing, public relations, and multimedia journalism.
Oh wow, okay, nice.
Yeah, so it covers a huge, like a broad range of different aspects of sport to hopefully, give me sort of the experience to move into one of those areas in the future.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, good luck, Joe. That sounds good.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. It means I get to talk to footballers like you about games and stuff. So you're just living the dream, really.
Oh, wicked. Oh, nice one. Has the pandemic and that affected your learning in that, your masters at all?
Well, last term, we were on campus and going, because all the lectures and stuff are in like Wembley Stadium.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So last term was fine, and there was like face to face and everything. But yeah, now at the minute I'm still in Cardiff with mum and dad. I haven't had the chance to head back up yet, so it's moved online at the minute.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, no, it's not the end of the world, and I'm still able to get stuff done here. So
Yeah, wicked. And when you hoping to get this done then, your masters?
so the two modules this term, I think the final deadline for them are April time, and then my dissertation is due in September.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, and I think the deadline for this article is like the end of March. So yeah, so as soon as I got the idea for what I wanted to do for it, I just started putting everything in motion, and I've already had a few chats with Langers and Danny Naisbitt as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wicked.
Yeah, and they were great, really helpful, really good to chat to.
Oh, nice. And you want to talk about the Leeds game, yeah?
Yeah. If you can, I know it was a long time ago, so anything you remember, basically.
Yeah, sure. No, I can. I'll try and reminisce on the day and the build up to it and stuff. Definitely.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. First question I've got. What were the feelings around a group of players the last training session before the game?
I think everyone was more excited building up to the game. I think because we was, I say at the time, a village team. You know, we've the club itself had gone from the Eastern Counties League up to the conference, and we was top of the conference at the time. Every game that we played building up to the Leeds game, we was almost underdogs every game, and we was very organised and very difficult to beat. So every game that we'd play on a Saturday, we was almost, I'll say, free and so relaxed going into the game, because we knew any game that we go and win, it's a bonus really. And so yeah, we had a really good run building up to that game. I think we'd won 9 out of 11, I think. So we had a really good form, and Leeds weren't doing too good at the time. They was in League One, just outside the playoffs, and obviously there was a massive club. And yeah, so I think going into that game, we was all very, very relaxed and excited, and we all knew that we were a difficult team to beat. Anyway, as we were very organised, and so yeah, I think we just went in there quite optimistic that we were going to go and get a result, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic, and obviously then the added bonus of Leeds losing Bexley for the game gave you a massive leg up as well.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, we knew. Yeah, he was their star striker at the time, and because I think he had a hamstring injury, that we knew that there was limited to scoring their goals. And I think we knew that if we'd scored a goal, we were going to be very difficult. We was always going to make it difficult for them to score, let alone without having Beckford. But they still had enough quality in that team to beat us. You know, they had that Fabian Delph and Jonathan Douglas and Robert Snodgrass and Snodgrass and players like that. You know, and they had chances to score. I think I remember they hit the post, and we cleared it off the line a few times, and you know we rode the waves a few times. But yeah, no, we stuck at it, and we grinded out the result, and we knew. I think everything that day went our way.
Oh yeah, couldn't agree with you more. And you mentioned some of the players Leeds had, but you know, to be fair, they didn't have a Danny Wright up top. They didn't have Josh Simpson in the midfield, Gareth Gwilym out wide. You know, so they were definitely lacking in areas where Histon was definitely stronger.
we were a strong side, and I think at the time, I remember when I signed for them, I remember going in the change room, and I remember thinking, I've just signed for the land of the giants. You know, every player was over 6 foot. I think I was probably the smallest player, and I'm 5'11", so in the tunnel before the game, you look at our team, and you got the likes of Patrick Ada, Matt Langston, Matt Mitchell-King, Nathaniel Knight Percival, Danny Wright, Jack Mitchell. They were huge, you know, and
we were a very physical team. We were very direct. We'd always go for second balls, and any set play we'd have, we'd go in the box and we'd flick-ons, and we were very physical and very hard team to compete against. And Leeds like to try and play football, and if you remember on the day, it was absolutely chucking down. The pitch was terrible, and they were trying to play, and it just wouldn't work for them. And we played to our strengths, and Matt Lansing got the goal, and that was it. We kind of tried to shut up shop, and that's what we did.
100%, and it's a good thing that the game was televised, because I don't think it would have been played if ITV hadn't have dragged down all the camera equipment and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think if that was game was played today, it definitely wouldn't have been on it. They're absolutely chucking down the pools around the pitch, and I think because the cameras are there and there was a big build up to it, and everyone wanted it on, they had no choice, and it suited us to the ground, and it was a very memorable day, and I think it was a Sunday, so we did celebrate after the game, but obviously not as hardcore as we would like, because we all had jobs the next day.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I bet. Oh, yeah, but what was it like going into work then on the Monday after you've just knocked Leeds out the FA Cup?
It was brilliant, because I think a lot of people at my work knew that I'd played semi-professionally for the team called Histon, but I don't think they realised the scope of the game building up to it. And I think because they all watched it on ITV, and like everyone around the country tuned into it, it was a Sunday afternoon game, and it was a David and Goliath game, and it was massive for us, and definitely put Histon on the map. And it was great going into work, and nice to talk about it, but a little bit sore going into work, but no, it's brilliant.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fun. What were you doing at the time, if you don't mind me asking?
At the time, I was a delivery driver for an interior design firm around where I lived in Bishop Stortford. So I think I was must have been 19, 20 years old at the time. So
oh wow, yeah.
So I was quite young, and so I went into work the next day, and I think I just started subbing, so I went in there, and they was all sat me on the back and asking questions about it, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, I can just imagine some of your customers just opening the door like, "Oh, I saw you on the TV yesterday. What's going on?"
Exactly. No, it was nice, and I think it was probably the first game that I've been involved in at that age where I've been on TV and stuff like that. So it was a big day and big game for me. I really enjoyed it, and I had a late fitness test as well, building up to the game. I think I was coming back from an ankle injury, and kind of had to really get it right before it and pass the fitness test. So I was fortunate to be involved in the game.
Oh well, yeah. I didn't actually know about that, so that was very lucky then.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I think I was out for a couple of weeks before the game, and obviously I played in the game before that, the Swindon game. I think it's Swindon. And and then when I saw we got Leeds, I had that little ankle injury, and then got myself back, and fortunately and lucky to have played.
Oh yeah, definitely. So next question I've got is what was your feeling the night before the game? So you're back home, sort of on your own, not with all the other boys, with that sort of camaraderie. When you sort of just like, with your own thoughts, what were your personal feelings before the game?
What I can remember, I think I was just excited. I think it was because I was fairly young, and I knew it was on ITV, and all my friends were messaging me and my family, and everyone was excited for the game itself. I was very, very excited. It wasn't until the morning of I was quite nervous. That's when nerves started kicking in. But certainly before the game, the night before the game, I was just very excited, and I was trying to make sure that I was drinking loads of water and doing my preparation and build up to the game. And I wasn't really changing too much what I used to do, but I think I was just being a little bit more, on a Friday at work, I'd have bit of a relaxed lunch, you know, a bit of chocolate and whatever with my sandwiches and stuff. But I knocked all that on the head, you know, tried to get everything right in the build up to it. So, but yeah, no, I think I had good night's sleep, and I think I had a nice early night. But I was up really early and I couldn't sleep. I think I remember waking up really early the day of. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, I think it was just excitement. Really.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, probably not the most normal Saturday night for a 19, 20-year-old.
No, no, that's it. Yeah. I think at the time, you know, I was quite young, so I was going out a lot with my friends. But obviously, yeah, had to miss the antics on that Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was worth it, to be fair.
Definitely. Yeah,
So just a bit about Steve Fallon next. Obviously, at the time, I think he's been with Histon for coming up or exactly 10 years.
Yeah.
So in the dressing room before the game, like before you'd taken the field, is he sort of just, you know, business as usual, just saying, you know, just do what you normally do, going through the roles, or was he sort of a bit more talking about sort of the gravity of the situation, like, you know, once in a lifetime, when are you going to play Leeds again? Was he sort of playing up to the occasion?
I don't think he did. I think that the thing with Steve Fallon and John Beck is they were both very consistent in their approach and their talks in pre-match talks before games and stuff. And I think that game especially, that I don't think they said anything different. I think a lot of the players knew the scope of the game, and they didn't actually go too into the fact that it was such a big game. You know, they almost kind of didn't have to because we all knew. You know, I just think. Yeah, I think he just did his usual team talk like he would. I don't remember him going too in depth on the other team. It was just like a Saturday league game, you know. And I think because of the cameras and stuff, and yeah, I don't think he needs to do that. I think the relationship between John Beck and Steve Fallon was really good. They were complete opposite type of characters, but it worked. Steve Fallon would do his talk before the game. John Beck would do his talk and tactics and bits and pieces, and that was it. Yeah.
Fantastic. So obviously not often would Histon get a crowd that big. From my research, I think it was about 4,500 people there at the time.
Yeah.
So going from just sort of like just a regular Saturday game against a Salisbury or a Wrexham, or I think we're in the league at the time. What was that sort of contrast like between having the whole village there, you know, the fans almost spilling onto the pitch?
It definitely made a difference, and I think it's the first time when I played that it definitely, you have an extra spring in your step, and your adrenaline is a lot more than what it usually is on a Saturday. You could just see the scope of the game when you come up the tunnel. The noise was a lot louder than what it usually was. You know, you look round and they're absolutely full. You know, and you see people standing outside the stadium on the little hill that overlooks the stadium. Yeah, it was brilliant, and I think that was. I think it definitely helped, and I think it definitely kicked us on to sort of drive a bit more into our game.
Yeah, 100%, and hopefully me being part of that 4,500 had something to do with it, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think it did. Yeah. Like I say, I think it. You know, it did act like a 12th man for us, and yeah, I just remember the atmosphere being so loud, and it was a really good vibe at the time, and I think we kind of went into that game almost thinking that we could do this. I think because of the weather, because of the crowd, because it was like, I don't know if you've ever seen the dressing rooms at Histon, and the away dressing room itself is just tiny, you know, and little big old leads coming down to little old Histon in that dressing room. They would have found it hard, you know, preparing for the game, let alone going onto the pitch, which was a mud bar.
Yeah, no, definitely. What do you recall about the goal going in? Because from where I was right down the other end behind Danny in the sticks. So our reaction was all very late because we couldn't really see what was going on down the other end. We just see the players sort of wheeling away, and then we're just thinking the best.
Yeah, well, I think I was on the edge of the box, and I was always on the edge of the box for any clearances and stuff, and obviously trying to get it back into the mixer or back out to the corner taker. And I just remember Gareth Gwilym whipping it in. Obviously he had great technique, and he was always on point with his corners. And we worked on it over and over again in training. John Bett was very on our set plays and getting it right, and he'd take a few corner takers, and he'd always do little competitions to try and get it on the marker and see who was the best corner taker. He did it with free kicks and everything. And Gareth Gwilym was obviously the better one on his left foot. And I just remember him whipping it in, and Langer's going up for a header, and he was always very good in the air. Langer's, he'd always win his battles. And kind of just remember it heading it down and skimming. Once you some legs and into the net. Yeah, it was just the best feeling in the world. And we all ran off celebrating it. It was a great moment.
Yeah, and probably even better in front of the travelling Leeds fans, to be fair, as well.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. That was obviously another good thing. Is it was right in front of the Leeds fans. So you can imagine their hatred to us when we celebrated near them. But no, we didn't think about that. We were just ecstatic to have got that goal, because we kind of knew, this is our day. We scored that goal. We know we're a very difficult team to score against, and now we've got that goal in front. It could well be our moment, and it was.
Yeah, definitely. And I can imagine, to be fair, where Leeds were at that time, their fans were probably used to results like that, so the goal going in, they probably didn't shock them too much.
Yeah, they were down for a bit of a tough time, weren't they? They was in League One. They were trying to get back up to the Championship. I think they were just outside the playoffs. I think they'd lost the game before. They didn't have a great run into the game. Yeah, we kind of knew that this was the time to play, and we knew that there was a great opportunity for us to progress to the next round, and it was a great day.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's kind of a mad contrast when you think Leeds sort of 2008 losing to Histon, but then only 2 years later in the same competition beating Man United away. So it shows that even though it was 2 years prior, the ability in that sort of team was still there at Leeds to pull off results like that.
Yeah, I mean we knew obviously Leeds is, although we're in League One, Leeds are obviously one of the biggest clubs in English football. They've got great history, and we knew that just because they're in League One, it still was a massive game for us. And how big of a club they were, it was brilliant for little old Histon. But no, yeah, we rode our luck a few times and got the win, got the goal, got the win, and yeah, we shut up shop. Definitely, it's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely. And you touched on it a bit already, but what do you think that result did for the profile of the team of Histon, and for the players like yourself as well? Because obviously, I think after this season with Histon, sort of the good times sort of stopped, and there were a lot of off-field issues and stuff like that. So a lot of players did end up leaving and usually going on to bigger and better things like yourself. I think you left the Crew after that season.
I think that was. I think Patrick Ada and Kingy went to Crew. I went to Peterborough, didn't I?
Oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, my mistake.
They went Crew. But, I think it certainly put Histon as a club on the map. And we were top of the conference at the time. So I think it certainly raised a few eyebrows for a lot of clubs around the country. In that, we were only part-time as well, and we was competing against a lot of full-time clubs, professional clubs in the conference. So we was doing wonders. But we was training 3 times a week in some weeks. We trained sometimes Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think it was. So although it was part-time, it was quite intense, and Becky and John Foran would get us training for a few hours, rather than just a couple. It was a few hours. So it wasn't easy. It was very hard work, and alongside our jobs, very difficult. But I think it definitely. I do think it gave the opportunity for other clubs to sort of see the players that we had at Histon, and like you say, myself, Patrick Ada, Kingy, Nathaniel Knight Percival, Danny Wright, Jack Midson, we've all gone on and progressed our careers, you know, and it done us a favour, and you know, it's certainly. I mean, thinking back of it, I think it probably did do us good in building our own profile.
Yeah, definitely. And signing for Peterborough, how was that for obviously someone of your age? Like obviously Peterborough, you know, being a full-time team, did you have to, like, you know, obviously pick your bags up and move to the area? Did the team sort of help accommodate you around there, or were you able to stay at home?
No, so it kind of came from a little trial game. Myself and Danny White went for a trial game. I think they had a couple of training sessions with Peterborough. They were interested and they wanted us to train with them for a couple of days. So I took a couple of days off work, trained with them. We had a practice game. It was like a reserve game at Luton away. So me and Danny White both went and played for Peterborough reserves for an opportunity for Darren McCantley, Barry Fry, Darren Ferguson to have a look at me and Danny White, because they were interested in signing us. And yeah, they spoke to myself and Danny after the game. I think we won. We beat them 2-0. I think I scored. Can't remember. Danny didn't score, but they didn't end up wanting to sign Danny. They said they wanted to monitor him, but they said they wanted to pen out a deal for me and sign me. So that night, Barry Fry went up to Histon and spoke with the chairman, and they sorted out a deal for us and package and that was it. And that weekend, I was meant to be playing for Histon at Salisbury away, and next thing I'm signing for Peterborough, and I'm on the way up to Newcastle away, playing at St James's Park. So it all kind of materialised very quickly. But no, it's fantastic, and we was in the conference at the time, and next thing I'm playing in the Championship at Newcastle away. So it was a brilliant time for me, and it was I'm very honoured to have been able to get my first professional contract, and me and my family were over the moon, and my mum and stepdad and my partner came up and watched the game and stuff. I was on the bench. I wasn't in the team that day, but obviously I wasn't bothered about that. Warmed up on the pitch with all the players and stuff, and it was just it was a brilliant moment. And obviously I couldn't thank Histon for the platform and for you know that step, making that step up to Peterborough. I couldn't have done it without the opportunity they gave me, so it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, definitely. I've always sort of thought with when that game occurred, 2008, I've always sort of thought that if that game was to happen more into the 2010s, where, you know, you have, you know, players like Vardy coming through and Charlie Austin and these like non-league players getting to the heights of the Premier League, and probably better TV deals available and coverage. I feel like if that game were to happen in the past 5 years, I feel like it would have got even more press to it, and I feel like the player, you know, you and all the other players at the time probably would have had a much bigger sort of magnifying glass on you as well after that result, just because of sort of the reputation that the conference and non-league has now.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, you've only got to look at the media and the sponsorships and the money that's been thrown about with all the cameras and Sky and BT and all that now. And it could have, like you say, if the game was brought forward a few years, it could well have kind of, like you say, magnified the game a bit more, and it could have given us more of a platform for the players to go on and progress their careers. But it's still, you know, at the time, like you said, like I said, there's several of them players at Histon there who did go on to have good careers. But like you say, yeah, it could well have progressed even better for others, because there's players in that team that probably didn't go on and have professional careers as such, but were good enough. So yeah, it's difficult. And I think at the time, a lot of us were part-time players, getting our part-time wages, and all had our full-time jobs. And the money that we were probably earning with both the jobs was more than some full-time clubs would pay for training with them and playing with them professionally. So there's that there's that decision that you have to make, whether you want to sacrifice the financial positive of, negative of going full time and taking that gamble, or staying with what you were doing. So yeah, there's that balance really.
I get it, yeah, but if Peterborough come knocking, you can't turn that down. Especially, I have to say, I didn't actually know they were in the championship at the time, so that just makes it even better, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think Peterborough as well. They've always been really good at their player recruitment, haven't they? And they've always plucked a lot of players from non-league and turning them into gems. You know what I mean? You usually see George Boyd, Craig McKell-Smith, Aaron McLean. There's loads of players that have gone to Dwight Gow. They've all gone through Peterborough and gone on to progress their careers in the Premier League. And I think Peterborough have made millions and millions out of professionals. So I think it's definitely a club that any young player would want to go to, with the hope that they can establish themselves at Peterborough and go on and have a better career, better their career further on at a bigger club. So, it was a no-brainer for me.
Definitely, and I think at the time Arsenal could have done with a centre midfielder like you as well. So it's a shame that Peterborough didn't springboard you into Wenger's setup.
That would have been nice. Now I'm a Tottenham fan, mate. But...
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure you wouldn't have turned that down anyway.
No, of course not. No.
It's time for Arsenal and just send little messages on the slide to Tottenham. Oh, boys, if you fancy.
Exactly.
I do also feel as well, if it was BBC who did the coverage rather than ITV, there might have been a greater sort of a catalogue of highlights for the game, because there really isn't many around. You can find sort of match reports and stuff on it, but in terms of actual video highlights, I've only been able to find one video, and the quality is like a PowerPoint. I'm not really sure how it's turned out so rough, but
I think you're right. Yeah, I tried to show my boys the game, and I think I typed it on YouTube, and there is like a 4-minute clip on there, and it is very jumpy. The quality's terrible, but like you say, if it was any other media platform, there'd be all sorts of coverage. There'd be more photos and videos, and I don't know. I didn't really think about why that is the case, but obviously I think maybe if it was BBC or another one of them bigger companies, there'd be a lot more made about it. But there isn't actually a lot, like you say, which is a bit disappointing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's everything I've got for you.
Brilliant. That's fine. No, Joe, if there's anything else you need from me, mate, give me a shout, and I'll be more than happy to help. And good luck with your degree, mate. Hope it all goes well.
Yeah, well, it's going well at the minute, and hoping to really get a good mark with this article, and then I'm also looking to at some point travelling to the glass world and filming a piece for camera, because I do like making videos and editing them, especially when it comes to sport. So pairing the article with sort of like a throwback sort of rewind video of the day and all that filmed outside the glass world, I think that'll look really good, and I'll definitely send everything I produce to you and all the other boys who and I have to say as well, all you boys have been better than I could have imagined. Like really, really helpful. Like I thought one of the beauties of choosing a game like this and a team like Histon is that obviously you boys are a lot more grounded than the mega stars of the Premier League and even Leeds now. So I thought, there is a chance that I could get into contact with some of them, and you've been absolutely brilliant, all of you.
So why are you saying that we're not no megastars? We're megastars too, you know.
You know what I mean, though. You're all local lads. You got your families. You're not from out in the middle of nowhere in Europe, being driving your gold-plated Lambos and stuff.
No, I appreciate that. No, I hope it'd be good to see any of your end projects and stuff. It'd be good. I did a degree in exercise and sports science alongside when I was at Crawley, and Peterborough and stuff because I weren't sure what I wanted to do after football. So I've always wanted to do a degree, and I did that and passed that with first class. And I know how difficult it is. You know, I did the dissertation. It's a horrible time. I mean, you obviously did your degree before. So no, I know how stressful it can be. But no, yeah, it'd be great to see your finished article. It'd be good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my degree before was in history, so this is a huge sort of like, this is a huge change for me. So it's sort of like, it comes with that extra stress of having to learn sort of like a whole new sort of topic in only a year rather than the 3.